In a world where a lot of crap happens and you need something spiritual, entertaining to come your way, you choose one of the most cringiest podcasts in the plane of an existence. You choose me. What is up, guys? Welcome to the Anything Goes Renegade Podcast. I'm your host, Demetrius Smurl, and today we got an episode for you. Now we are going to be discussing about prophecies. Well, more prophecy. We are going to talk about first what it is, and then we are going to, and then I'm going to tell you why you should not be afraid of this particular thing of prophecy and why some of the media is using these so-called famous people who can see the end times, who can prophesy the end times, why you should take them with a grain of salt. And just so we clear, now before we even get started, if you are listening to this podcast on YouTube, please make sure you like and subscribe to my channel to stay up to date. And if you are listening to this podcast on Anchor, Spotify, or even Apple iTunes, guys, please do me a favor. I want you going out to that link that is on my bio that says, I believe, support my podcast or whatever it is. And if you can, please support my podcast. You can choose how much you want to pay per month. This is totally up to you. Now, if you don't want to do that, there's another way you can support my podcast. Share it with your friends and your family. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, or even Instagram. Just send a message. I don't care if you send a message to damn Donald Trump. I appreciate it greatly. And we'll get started in a little bit. And I just had to say this. I love all you guys for coming on and listening to my stuff. And that's enough rambling. Now we'll get right into the episode. Now, guys, a prophecy is a message that is claimed by a prophet to have been communicated to them by a deity. Such messages typically involve an inspiration, interpretation, or revelation of divine will concerning the prophet's social world and events to come. Compare divine knowledge. Now, the English noun prophecy is, in a sense, a functioning of the prophet appeared from about 1225 from Old France, 12th century, and from prophetia, Greek prophetia, gift of interpreting the will of God. From Greek prophetes, see prophet. The related meaning, things spoken or written by a prophet, dates from 1300, while the verb to prophecies is recorded by 1377. See, you learn something new every day. The word prophecies, it's kind of new, isn't it? Now, let's look at the definitions, okay, guys? Now, the Mamians suggested that prophecies is in truth and reality an emanation sent forth by divine being through the medium of the active intellect, in the first instance to man's rational faculty, and then to his imaginative faculties. This view of the man is closely related to the definition by Al-Farabi, who developed the theory of prophecy in Islam. Much of the activity of the Old Testament prophecies involved in conditional warnings rather than immutable features. A summary of a standard Old Testament prophecy forms might run: repeat of sin X and turn to righteous, otherwise consequence Y will occur. St. Paul emphasized edification, exhortation, and comfort in a definition of prophecy. The Catholic defines a Christian conception of prophecy as understood in the strict sense. It means the foreknowledge of future events, though it may sometimes apply to past events of which there is no memory, and to present hidden things which cannot be known by the natural light of reason. According to Western exotic, rosemary gully clairvoyance has been used as an adjunct to divination, prophecy, and magic. From a skeptical point of view, a Latin maxim exists: prophecy written after the fact. The Jewish Torah already deals with the topic of the false prophet. Okay, now let's really get into it. So now we know what prophecies is. We know what it is. But I'm gonna tell you what it's not. I'm gonna tell you how somewhere along the way we do a lot of misinterpreting what a prophecy is. And it's beginning to be a real problem. Because if you were alive, if you were a kid in the 90s, and you hear a bunch of people prophesizing about the year 2000 being the end times, right? But then the year 2000 gets here, no computer crashing, no plane falling out the sky, none of that happened. Why did none of this happen? Didn't a lot of people prophesize this happen? It's because they didn't prophesize anything. What they seen is what they misinterpreted. Either they misinterpreted or they never saw any visions of it and just saying it to get attention. And that's the very thing that some of us gotta watch out for, especially in the spiritual community, especially in Christianity. Because I see in Christianity that some people like to say that this is the end time. This is what the Bible prophesies. That is the wrong term. That is the wrong term to say. Because prophecy is not a immutable feature. Prophecy is your destination if you continue on this path. That is what a prophecy is. And I want you to go on YouTube and you see some people going across the world visiting this old woman who they claim she is prophesizing. She prophesies everything. She saw the future. They use that word. She prophesies everything. And for my gut feeling, I don't believe her. The reason why I don't believe her is because what she see most likely she either taking it as a literal sense or she's misinterpreting. Now, most people will criticize me for that, but I don't care. She's still a human being. She still can make mistakes. When you try to prophesy, when you try to see into the future of the fate of the whole entire world, that is when I start to question you. You might get a future of the whole entire, you might see the future and the fate of the whole entire world of humanity, but that might represent your world and your humanity, your life. And believe it or not, like I said, you do have some people who do use that and try to scare people and try to garner attention. They garner these attentions so they can scare people out of their money. Put them in lower vibration, put them in lower frequency, put them in lower energies. And then they turn around, make it political. Oh, the Democrats doing this. Oh, the Republicans doing this. Oh, the Libertarians are doing this and that. Just so they can make some money off of your fear. So when will it end? When will it stop? It'll stop when people start to search for themselves. And it stopped with me because I knew that word was used wrong. I knew anytime someone used that particular word, they do not understand what it means. So this is where I had to take a step back and realize that I can't keep listening to people who claim to know the fate of humanity, because they don't know. They think they know, but they don't know. Because they're still human. They're going to make mistakes. They're still flawed. They're going to make mistakes. What I can do is to go out and live my life and not worry about the end times. But ain't it so fascinating? It's so fascinating because the human brain, for some reason, the human psychology is so focused on when the world is going to end, but not focused on when they start to live their lives, when they actually start to chase their dreams. Instead of worrying about when the world is going to end, they're so worrying about the end, but not the middle and not the living part. Why is that? Why is it that we are so focused on the end and never the middle? We got to live, people. We got to live. We got to get our asses up, live our lives. Stop worrying about the end. Because the more you worry about the end, the more you allow life to pass you by. The more you allow life to take control of you, and you just going and bouncing off each way and every way like a damn ping pong. Bang, 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 bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. So here's begs the question: when are we going to stop listening to other people who misuse the term prophecy, claiming that this year or next year is when the world's going to end? The physical world at that. But you want to know something? And I've said this, many people have said this. The world has ended so many times But it ain't the physical world that ended. It is your old world, your individual world, your individual reality, your individual dimension. That is what's ending. Your individual world, your individual reality. That is what's ended. And you feel it. You feel it when you try to hold on to it. When you try to hold on to that old. When you try to hold on to that old, you're going to feel that pain. You're going to feel that suffering. That's when you got to let it go. That is when you have to absolutely let it go. Because if you don't let it go, you're going to suffer. And it's going to feel like the end of the world to you. Now, that is what I believe. Everybody's old world. Everybody's old beliefs. Well, I ain't gonna say everybody, but most people's old world, old beliefs, the illusions will end. It will die, so something else can take its place. Now, that depends on that something else. It ain't necessarily gotta be good. It could be something much worse than what you were living in. What I mean by that is what you are already creating now. What you are already creating now. If you ain't creating anything, if you're still creating stuff from a lower vibrational frequency, then most likely you're gonna continue to create the same old world, the same old reality, the same old attitude, behavior, beliefs. But if you're doing something new, then yeah, you'll get something new, you'll get something better than what you had before. And now I'm gonna say the same thing to those who are Christians who are listening to this. And matter of fact, this applies to everybody. When you allow that old you to die, that old you represents your old beliefs, the old world, the old ways of doing things, the old attitude. When you allow that to die, there's something new can take its place. As I said before, what that is, that depends on you. If you allow God, who is within you, to come out to help you to create something new and better in your life, then you'll be at a much higher frequency. You'll be at a much better frequency. But if you still allow your ego to create for you, then you'll be right back where you started. Okay? So you'll be right back where you started. So remember, allow the God that is within you, the universe that is within you, or the goddess that is within you, to help you create what you want. So you have something new, something better. Don't allow your lower self to interfere. Have you ever wanted to start your own podcast? Are you passionate about a favorite subject matter or a message that you want everyone to listen to? but you don't have any of the equipment or have no idea where to begin? Well, look no further than Anchor. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Do not worry about any extra equipment, guys, because Anchor's creation tools allows you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great. They'll distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. To get started, download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm. That's ANCHOR.FM. Again, to get started, download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm. That is ANCHOR.FM. And that is it for today's podcast episode. It got kind of serious, didn't it? Y'all felt it got kind of serious there. But that is a serious topic. That is one of the topics that bothered the hell out of me for a long time, because I don't like it. I don't trust it, and I feel like sometimes some certain parts of the media, they do use people who claim to, air quotes, prophesize the end of humanity, in which reality they ain't prophesizing nothing but a bunch of bull crap that they saw on TV, most likely. But anyway, check me out, guys. I'll see you guys next time. I love you guys. Deuces.